So please come and find a comfortable standing position close to the front of your mat, with your feet about hip distance apart, and so that your knees are right in the middle of your feet. Let your knees be bent gently, so you don't lock your legs, don't lock your knees. And then stand up tall and take a deep breath in and a complete breath out. Go ahead and do that again. Notice how your upper body rests on your lower body so that your hips are right above your knees, and how your legs, by activating your legs a little bit, you actually create lift and lightness in the upper body. So go ahead and root your feet down, activating your legs by imagining you're pulling your kneecaps up towards your hips, and pull your navel, pull your lower abdomen in as you reach your tailbone and your lower back down. Let your arms rest by your sides, with the biceps facing forward, the palms of the hand facing forward. And notice where your shoulders are in relation to your hips, to your knees, and your feet. And go ahead and lengthen your neck on all sides, bringing your chin parallel to the floor. And lift the crown of your head again on your breath. And with your exhale, completely release. Just take a moment to notice how you feel here in standing. And especially see if you can notice where you hold your physical tension, where you hold any stiffness, any hardness in the body. Sometimes this tension manifests itself as pain or as misalignment. And in fact, any of these signals in our physical body are actually just really intelligent information from the body of something that's out of balance, something that we may have been holding or misholding in our daily lives. This could be either through strenuous activity, maybe through your sport, or it could even be through inactivity. Again, sitting too long with these so-called unconscious patterns. Especially notice your shoulders now and your collarbones. That's these bones right here at the top of your lungs, just below your throat, and to the inside of your shoulders. And notice if one of your shoulders and one of your collarbones is somehow different, if it feels different than the other. For example, one might feel a little bit lower or tighter or heavier. And rather than trying to pull or force, or really try to change this in any sort of aggressive way, see if you can just bring your awareness into the body a little bit more. And then bring your attention to your breathing again. Deep belly breathing, always in through the nose. And whenever possible, when it feels easy and good, breathing out through the nose completely and relaxed. And so the body is actually always trying, always wanting to restore its harmony, its balance. It's always healing itself. Indeed, healing is one of the most important intelligences of the body. So if you notice a spot in your body that feels extra, maybe it's tight, maybe it's just tired, rather than, again, trying to force something or manipulate it physically, see if you can bring your awareness into that part of the body. And with that attention, the energy of your breath will follow. And our breath is one of the most important vehicles for our life energy, for prana in the yogic tradition. So see if you can bring your attention there, and then just notice what happens as the breath moves and relaxes. Again, standing tall with active legs. Go ahead and activate your upper leg muscles a little bit more as you reach your feet down into the ground. Perhaps even lift your toes and spread your toes out, pushing down through the four corners of your feet. See if you can keep that contact with the corners of your feet as you relax your toes, perhaps one at a time, as slowly as you can. So this is called inner body bright. Bright with the light of awareness, of consciousness in your body. And then what we want to do with this bright inner body, softening tension with the awareness, is we want to start to lengthen the side body here. And that's the part, especially from your hips up to your underarms. So let's see if we can turn up the brightness here as we deepen the breathing. And with your inhales, lengthen your side body a little bit more. And with your exhales, fully release. And give yourself permission to let go of anything and everything that you don't need to be here, to be in this body, in this moment, and this breath. One of the amazing things about our breath is that it is always here for us. Indeed, it defines, in many ways, this life that we get to live. Whether or not we pay attention to it or not. And yet something pretty amazing happens when we rest our attention on the breathing. So see if you can just bring your attention inwards a little bit. And again, use this guiding question for today. Where do you hold your physical tension? And again, see if you can brighten your inner body, your subtle body. Imagine your breath like a dimmer light, bringing your attention to the belly, diaphragmatic breathing, deep belly breathing. And as you inhale, imagine the light of your breath here, brightening, getting lighter and expanding. And as you exhale, this bright and soft light shimmers and shines throughout you. And already, right away, you might notice some changes in your physical body. You might notice, especially in the shoulders and the collarbones, that when we take a full belly breath, that the collarbones lift to a parallel position right under the shoulders at the top of the breath. And as you exhale, see if you can maintain that length, lifting your chin again parallel to the ground as you soften any tension you don't need. And keeping that brightness, we're going to start to add a little bit of movement, just waking up the body. So on your inhale, lift your arms. And then on your exhale, lower the arms on the breath. So follow your rhythm of breathing, and please listen to your body, as always. Wait for your inhale and lift the arms up. And on your exhale, lower the arms down on the breath. So just do this about 3 or 4 more times. Really simple movement here. Just continue to stand tall as you activate your legs again, pulling the belly in even as you take deep breaths, and reaching your roots down from your feet. Reach your tailbone down as you soften the arms on the wings of the breath. And do that one more time. Noticing now if there's a difference in one side. Perhaps one side a little bit heavier, a little bit more open, or feeling maybe even loose. I'm going to take this next movement. I learned actually in a belly dance class called snake arms here. So we're going to lead with the elbows. So on your inhale, go ahead and lift your elbow up. And then on your exhale, you're going to lower the elbow down as the front of the hand faces forward. And we'll do the second side in your rhythm. Inhaling one arm up, and then exhaling the arm down. Continue like this. As you inhale, the back of the hand rises up. As you exhale, imagine you're striking, or rather petting something really soft, like velvet, maybe the fur of your favorite animal, and continue like this. If this feels a little bit too much, it's a little bit hard to coordinate the movement, feel free to do one arm at a time. Notice your neck as you're doing this, and see if you can keep your neck long on all sides. The chin again staying parallel to the ground. And noticing, especially any differences from one side to the other. And do this one more round of breathing. And then resting both arms by your side, standing tall again. And then we're going to take it into our feet. Activate your feet a little bit. So again, standing with your feet about hip distance apart. Spread your toes. Reach down through the corners of your feet. And then on an inhale, we're going to come up onto the balls and the toes of your feet. And then exhale, come back down. Do this a couple more times. So on your inhale, rise slowly with the breath. And on your exhale, come down as slowly as you can. Notice your knees again, right in the middle of your feet, following the middle line of your feet. That's that space between the second toe and the third toe. We'll do that one more time. Great. Now go ahead and bend your elbows again and bring your hands to rest on top of your shoulders. We're just going to make some easy shoulder circles here, again, leading with your elbows and standing up nice and tall. Breathing deep, this dimmer light breath. And rotating the arms at any speed and in any size that feels good. Now, this might produce some sounds or some sensations in the body. You might feel some popping or pulling, a little bit of twinge feeling, or even louder snapping and cracking. That's good, actually. That's a sign of some of the connective tissue around the shoulder joint warming up, moving a little bit more. But again, don't force anything, and you definitely don't want to hurt yourself. So if something feels like a sharp sensation, electrical pain, or even a fiery feeling, then please slow down, take it easy. Maybe take a pause, or just do a little bit less. There's no rush here, and there's no prize for making the biggest, fastest, or the so-called best practice here. In fact, this is a reminder that yoga is not a competition, not even a competition with yourself. It's a practice of exploration and getting to know yourself and how you feel right now. So if you haven't already, rotate in the second direction, letting the elbows lead, the legs are active, your breath is deep as you lift your heart and lift the crown of your head. And notice if it's different in this side. I feel my range of motion is a little bit more limited for some reason in this direction. So rather than trying harder or trying to make it anything different than what it is, just reminded of some of that great advice from my mom. It is what it is. And I'm going to notice that and accept it for what it is. Slowing down and resting your arms again by your side. Just take a moment here, standing tall in your mountain pose, to notice again how you're feeling right here, right now. Okay, we're gonna open that side body a little bit more. So now you might want to bring your legs together as if you had one leg standing tall. Again, spreading your toes might help you ground down through your feet. And we're gonna activate the legs inwards towards the midline of the body. I'll come down so you can see this a little bit more, but stay standing if you can. And then bring your arms overhead. Relax your shoulders down. You can interlace your fingers here, and with your pointer fingers pointing tall, inhale, get long again. And then on an exhale, we're gonna take a side bend. You can stay here, but use your inhales to lengthen from your center on both sides of the body, from your waist up through your armpits. And then use your exhales to see if you can soften into your side bend a little bit more. If you like, you can always come out to the center and do this a little bit more dynamically. Or just stay and see if you can find stillness and a little bit more ease as your breath softens you into the pose. We'll take one more breath here. Especially breathe into the side of you that you're bending towards, and push down through the back, through the heel of your opposite leg. And then inhale, come back to the center. Feel that. And then on your next exhale, we're gonna bend to the second side. Deep belly breathing. Try to be as long on your bent side here, on your lower side, as you are on your upper side. You can always do this more dynamically, or again, settle into the pose a little bit deeper. Now notice your shoulders in this pose and see if they're both parallel to the front of your mat or the side of the mat you're facing, so that you're not bending forward, but you're really deepening into a side bend. Activate that opposite heel, the opposite foot down a little bit more to reach up through your center. And then on an inhale, activate your center and come up. Exhale, release your arms, and feel that. Great. Now open your legs real wide, at least or a little bit wider than your hips. It could even be as far wide as when you spread your arms and turn your hands down. So you notice the sides, the outsides of your feet parallel to each other. We're just going to take some bigger circles now with the arms extended. And I recommend you start small at first. The shoulders are some of the strongest, but also some of the most complicated joints in the body. A lot of things going on in shoulders, and it's a really common area for people to hold tension in the body. And when we have this physical tension in the body, the shoulders tend to round forward. We tend to collapse in the chest. So again, lift your heart, stand up tall by activating your legs. And if it feels good, you can make these arm circles a little bit bigger. And you want them to be as circular, as fluid and round as you can. Again, you can go at any speed or any size that feels good, but you want to be able to maintain that deep belly breathing in through the nose and a full release with every exhale. So if it feels good, you can actually start to cross your arms over in front of you. And then if you're crossing your arms, go ahead and alternate which arm comes in front each time you cross the arms. It's a really good exercise for synchronizing the left and right sides of the brain. And through these big arm circles, we're starting to warm up the shoulder joint. So if you're feeling tired in your shoulders already, you're starting to feel very warm there, that's good. That's what we want from this exercise. So stay with it. You can always slow down. But really try to stay with your deep and full breaths, and then slow it down. Don't stop yet. Now we're going to do the second direction. And the second direction might be different. Might feel different for you today. So it's actually really important that you notice that. I'm noticing, yeah, my shoulder's feeling tired after a great round of tennis just before this. So I'm not going to get too crazy, too wild here. I'm definitely not going to get violent with myself. In yoga, we practice ahimsa, which means non-violence, not causing pain to anyone, especially not yourself. So only if it feels good in your body, you might want to start making your circles bigger. Maybe they'll go a little bit faster or slower. But again, you're looking for that round movement. And it's okay if there's some sticky spots or even some corners in your circles. But if you find those, then I recommend you just stay in that place where you can continue making the movement fluid. And you might want to slow it down, especially if you're feeling that tiredness. Maybe smile a little bit more if you're feeling tired. And breathe a little bit deeper. Feel free to cross your arms if that feels good. And then you can alternate. And do that for 2 more breaths. 2 more full cycles. Deep inhales and complete exhales. And we'll go back to the first direction one more time. All right. So just do that for 3 breaths here at any speed and any size. And then we'll go back to that second direction. One last time. You got this. Ooh, left side is very different from the right side for me here, so that's good. It's actually really good that I have that information. By having that information about how my body feels right now, I'm actually better empowered to help my body achieve its natural balance and harmony. Let's come back to standing tall in your mountain pose, feet hip distance apart. Spread your toes again and reach down through your feet as you lift up through your heart, chin parallel to the ground. And notice again, one more time, how you're feeling. So we're going to take some easy head circles now. I'd like to imagine something like a coin, about a quarter or a €2 coin at the center of the top of your head. And at first, I'm just making a circle that's the size of that coin. It doesn't have to be very big, because the goal here is just to feel some easy movement, but also that stability of the whole body, lifting the upper body and the neck and the head. And then if it feels good, if that movement feels again fluid and easy, you can start to make it a little bigger and keep it round. And if you notice some spots where it starts to feel like clicking or pulling, then take it again a little bit easier. Slow your circles down. Take it careful, and again, stay with it. Eventually, you might get to a point where you are reaching your chin down across the chest and bringing the head back. Be careful when you come back not to pinch the back of the neck. Take it a little bit easier on that side. But let the movement be, again, as round, as easy as you can, and then we'll check out the second direction. You might already feel like you want to go a little bit more freely on this side. It feels good. That's good. Let it feel good. And then remember your breath. Come back to deep belly breathing. And just take a couple of mental notes of how this side feels, how you feel right now, right here. For some reason, a little bit more crunchy feeling in one corner of the rotation for me in this second direction. So I'm going to stay a little bit smaller in the rotation. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of isometric work with the neck. So you can stay standing here. If you like, you can also come to a seat. We're going to take the arm and we're going to use the palm. So the flat part of your hand just above the ear. Stand up tall, activating your legs. And then on your exhale, we're going to push the head against the hand, but the hand is also pushing the head. So there's no movement, but there's a lot of energy. You're going to feel a lot of work happening on your side of your neck. So breathe deep into that. We'll take one more round of breath. So your head is pushing equally, just as strong as your hand is pushing against your head. And then release. Take a moment to feel the difference. Second side, bending the elbow and relaxing the shoulders again. Keeping the shoulders resting in the body, the fingers pointing up, and the elbow more or less in the direction of your nose. Breathe in, activate your upper body and legs, and then on your exhale, begin to push the head into the hand, and the hand pushes back against the head. So again, there's no movement, but this is really great isometric work here. Equal strength, equal force, and a lot of feeling. And go ahead and deepen your breath here. We'll do 2 more breaths. And on your next exhale, release. And take a moment to feel that. Now we're going to let the head hang heavy forward. You might already feel a lot as you drop your chin down towards your chest. If you're not feeling much of anything at all, you can bring your hands back just where below the crown of your head, just above the backmost part of your head, called the external occipital protuberance. That back part of our brain, actually really, or back part of the skull, important connection to our sight. And you might just add a little bit of weight here, keeping your shoulders relaxed and letting the weight of your arms stretch the back of the neck a little bit. No pain here, no force. But again, you want to look to feel something. So go ahead and deepen your breath and let your head hang nice and heavy. On an exhale, go ahead and release that and let the neck be long again on all sides. And for this last one, we're going to interlace the fingers behind the neck. I like to have my thumbs just resting out to the side, along the sides of the neck, and then lifting your chin, lift your head and look up. And then on an exhale, just gonna let the head hang heavy towards the back of the room, looking up and breathing deep. Using the hands here to prevent any compression in the back of the neck. We want to get a nice opening in the front of the throat. So again, breathe deep and lengthen your side body. See if you can send your awareness up into the throat. And use your breath, use your awareness of your breathing to see if you can soften any tension, any hardness you find in the body that you don't need to hold this pose. One last breath. And inhale, come on out. And one more time, just standing here and noticing how you feel, especially noticing any changes that you might already be able to feel. And then notice your natural breathing. Great. So now we're going to come into a forward bend. This is really great for tension, especially in the neck, the top of the shoulder area, and our jaw, a place where women tend to hold a lot of tension. So we're going to stand tall, legs hip distance apart. Breathe in and lengthen your upper body, and then exhale, fold from your hips into a forward bend. And go ahead and get your hands down on the ground. Again, the knees are in the center of your feet, center of your ankle. So they're parallel to each other, and the feet are also parallel. The outside of your feet parallel, like the long lines of the long side of your mat. On an inhale, with your fingers on the ground, lengthen your back, come forward. And then exhale, fold a little easier into your forward bend. So I really want you to be able to get your hands down on the ground here. So bend your knees enough until you can easily touch the ground. And if you have something at home, if you need to use a block or a book or something for a little extra height, use that so that we're not, again, dropping our shoulders and rounding them forward, but we're really able to connect the shoulders into the support of the upper back by softening them into the body and then breathing deep. So again, with your fingers on the ground, I like to come onto my fingertips. Activate your legs a little bit more, especially the upper legs, reaching up into the body, your feet reaching down into the ground. Inhale, pull the belly in as you lengthen your back, the whole back long, and then exhale, fold again a little deeper and even a little easier into your forward bend. If you're not feeling a whole lot here, especially in the backs of the legs, you might bring your arms behind your legs or even grab your elbows. You can do that in front or behind your legs. And now let the neck be long and the head be nice and heavy as you just let your head nod yes and no, or side to side. I like to imagine I'm like a willow tree here, just swaying and waving in the wind. Again, pay attention to your knees. Keep them easy, gently flexed or gently bent here, so that we're not locking the legs and that the circulation of blood continues throughout the legs and the body. And then we're going to come up this way. So really important. You might want to watch. Just bring your hands to your hips and notice your elbows. They have a tendency to drop the elbows out to the sides. Instead, pull your elbows back up to the ceiling as you soften your shoulders into the upper back. And then inhale, bend the knees with strong legs, lift up. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, your mountain pose, right where we started. Great. So, we're going to do basically one more pose here before we come down to the ground for a really relaxing Shavasana practice. And so it's very similar to what we just did, but we're going to add a little bit of the arms behind the body. So fold your hands together and rest your hands on your sacrum. This is just above your tailbone, so the bottom of the spine. Just above that are 4 or 5 vertebrae that are fused together in a little bit of a triangular shape here. This is not the very curvy part of your lumbar spine at the navel, but just below that and just above your seat. So with your hands resting on your sacrum, again, we're going to brighten the inner body by breathing deep. Lengthen your side body and use your exhales to soften any tension that you can find. Now keep your shoulders soft here. The shoulders are relaxed in the body and far from your ears. Lengthen your neck, chin parallel to the earth. And we're going to keep the shoulders resting in the body. Keep the shoulders reaching down. And then on an inhale, activate your belly a little bit engaged as you lift your hands away from your back, away from your seat, and soften your elbows here. So don't lock your arms. That's going to shorten the side body and pull the collarbones down. So instead, bend the elbows, keep your belly engaged, your legs are strong, and your breathing is nice and deep. In fact, you can even pull your elbows away from each other as you keep them bent. Doing this is going to give you a little bit more space for breath in the back of your chest, upper back. So breathe deep into that. And even as you move your hands away from your back, you're going to move your hands down. Actually move your fingers and your knuckles away from you and a little bit up. But keep reaching your shoulders down. And we're going to release on an inhale this time. So on your next inhale, release the hands. Whew, and feel that. You might want to shake things out or roll things around again. I like to do a lot of wrist circles in addition to those shoulder circles and elbow movements we did today. The body is really meant to move, and the joints like to move fluidly and in a circle. And I'm going to adjust the angle now. You can see my setup for our Yoga Nidra relaxing pose. So you really want to get comfortable here as we come down to the ground. And I recommend you use as many props as you have to get comfortable. It's nice to have a blanket in addition to your mat. That's just going to make it a little bit softer because the body gets very heavy in this practice, and the bones, especially, may begin to feel a little bit achy if you're on something very hard. So having an extra cushion there can be really nice. And you may also want a cushion for your head. Oh, I should do it on this side. If you have another blanket, you might roll it up and use it underneath your knees as a kind of a knee pillow. Or if you have a bolster, you can use that. And so we're going to set up our little nest here, getting comfortable. And it is really nice to, especially if it's early in the morning for you, or if it's a little bit chillier where you are, you may want to put a blanket over you, because just like in sleep, the body gets a little bit colder as it goes into this sleep mode. And also the weight of a blanket on top of the body will give you that extra feeling of settling in and letting go. So wherever you get set up, I'm going to use the blanket for now, just make sure that your legs are nice and relaxed. And you want to have your feet and legs as wide as your hips, or even wider, kind of like a starfish. Let your toes, let your feet fall out to the sides, and then bring your arms by your side with the hands facing up. Leave a little bit of room between your body and your arms so that the underarm, the armpit, has room to breathe. And then make sure your head and your neck are right in the center line of you. With the back of the head on the ground, you may want to turn your head, keep the back of the head on the ground, and then come back to your center. And then turning the head to the other side, and just making sure you're in your center as we prepare for Yoga Nidra. So make any adjustments, any of those small movements that you need to get comfortable. And then just take a moment to feel your body resting here on the ground. Noticing how you feel in this moment. And with your exhale, letting go of anything and everything you don't need. With your exhale, allow your awareness to drop inwards. And with your inhale, feel the length and the weight of your body resting on the floor. With your exhale, allow the whole body to sink down a little more. With your next exhalation, relax your feet and ankles. With your next exhalation, allow the weight of your lower legs to drop down. With your exhale, soften your knees and your upper legs. Relax. With your exhale, allow your hips and your pelvis to release tension. With your inhalation, feel the length of your spine and the weight of your entire back. With your exhalation, allow the spine and the back to drop into the earth. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and soften the front side of your shoulders, the top side of your shoulders, and the back side of both shoulders. Soften and relax. And allow that soft, easy feeling of the shoulders to wash down as you relax your upper arms, soften your elbows, relax your lower arms, your wrists. Relax the inside of your hands and the back side of both hands as you soften all 10 fingers. Let the whole body relax. Observe the length of your neck and the weight of your head. And with your exhalation, allow the head and neck to drop into the earth. Soften all of the muscles of your face. Soften your forehead, your eyebrows. Soften your eyeballs, your eyelids. Relax your cheeks and your lips as you soften your chin, your jaw, the sides of the head, and your ears. Dropping more inwards, if you can soften all of your inner organs and even allow the weight of your bones, your tissues, to drop and melt down into the ground. Notice the weight of your brain. With your next exhalation, allow the weight of your brain to drop. Now see if you can notice the weight of your thoughts. And with your exhalation, allow the weight of your thoughts to drop and release. Now rest your attention in the natural rise and fall of every breath. And make a commitment to yourself to stay alert, to stay awake, even as you use every exhalation to soften the whole body, allowing your body to become still, allowing your breath to soften, and then resting again your awareness in the rise and fall of every breath. We'll continue with 5 more deep breaths. Count them like this. 5, breathing in. 5, I'm breathing out. 4, breathing in. 4, breathing out. Continue like this in your rhythm. And with every exhalation, soften and relax a little more. And as you make your way towards 0, allow the whole body and mind to come to absolute stillness, total relaxation, soft and at rest. Now, wherever you are, you can release that count and bring your attention to the center of your forehead, in the space between your eyebrows. Now we're going to practice moving awareness throughout the body. So as I name a part of the body, bring your attention there. And if you like, you can sense, visualize, or imagine the essence of a star. See a point of light, starlight, these parts. Center of your forehead, center of your throat, center of the right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, tip of the right thumb, right pointer finger, right middle finger, ring finger, and the little finger, soft. Center of the right wrist, elbow, shoulder, relax. Center of your throat. Center of the left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, soft. Tip of the left thumb, left pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the tip of the little finger. Relax. Center of your wrist, elbow, shoulder, relax. Starlight at the center of your throat. Point of light at the center of your heart. Center of your left breast, left chest area, bright. Light at the center of your heart. Center of your right chest, right breast area, relax. Light at the center of your heart. Center of your navel. Center of your pelvis. Center of the right hip, right knee, right ankle. Relax. Tip of the right big toe. Second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the fifth toe, soft. Center of your right ankle, knee, hip. Starlight at the center of your pelvis. Point of light at the center of your left hip, left knee, left ankle. Light at the tip of the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the fifth toe. Relax. Center of your left ankle, knee, hip. Starlight at the center of your pelvis. There is a star at the center of your navel. See the light at the center of your heart. Feel the light at the center of your throat. Be with the light at the center of your forehead. Relax. Now imagine all of these points of light lighting up at once, shining, illuminating the constellation of you. And bring your attention back to the center of your forehead. And rest your attention here, the space between your eyebrows, and just back and in the center of the head. Allow your attention to rest here in Agnya Chakra, the center of your intuition. And allow yourself to just rest here, following the rise and fall of each breath. Now bring your awareness to the feeling of the breath coming in through both sides of your nose, and follow this feeling, this flow of breath out both sides of your nose. Notice the touch of the breath, perhaps its texture and speed, sound. And continue observing your breath as it moves out and in both sides of the nose. Now we're going to do a practice of mental alternate nostril breathing. So follow the breath out both sides of your nose, and then bring your attention to the left nostril. And on your inhale, observe the breath moving up and in the left side of your nose and up and back to the center of your head. On your exhale, follow the breath out the right nostril, observing the breath. Let it go. On your inhale, follow the breath in the right side and up and back to the center of your head. And on your exhale, follow the breath out the left side of the nose, releasing completely. And then just continue like this in your own rhythm, following the breath from where you are. And on your exhale, mentally alternating and watching the breath release out the other side of the nose. The next time that you breathe out the left side of your nose, you can release this practice of mental alternate nostril breathing. And once again, rest your attention in the center of your head, center of your forehead, and a little bit back in the center of your mind. Wherever you are, bring your attention back to the rise and fall of your natural breathing. Slowly, when you're ready, begin to deepen your breath. And on your exhale, fully release. Just continue like this, naturally and spontaneously deepening your breathing. And with each exhale, letting go of all of the old air, perhaps even squeezing the belly in to get the last air out. And then when you feel ready, when the body feels light enough, when it feels like it's vibrating with that energy of your breathing, you can start to wake up your physical body again with small movements, perhaps moving the fingers first and then the toes. Then let these small movements just get bigger whenever it feels right, whenever it feels good. It might feel nice to bring the arms overhead and then just stretch your whole body long again on an inhale. Reach, 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 reach. And exhale. Release. And then bend the knees one at a time. You can go ahead and grab your legs and give yourself a hug, keeping your back nice and long, especially your lower back resting on the ground as you give yourself a big hug and all your love. And you may just want to stay here for a little while. This might feel really sweet. And you want to be still and rest. Or you may be ready to roll over onto your side, perhaps the right side or the other side. Just take a moment here resting on your side in the fetus pose, feeling the support of the earth. When you're ready, use your hands to come up into a comfortable and easy seated position. And just take a moment here when you're ready, sitting up tall, sitting still, and noticing how you feel. And then once you notice how you feel here at the end of your practice, take a moment to notice again your natural breathing. Especially notice if there's anything different, if there are any changes or anything you weren't able to notice before. And then on an inhale, you can bring the arms over the side body, and then exhale, hands to the center of the heart. Really nice to end any practice with gratitude. Gratitude and thankfulness to our bodies for allowing us to feel something. Gratitude to our breath, our anchor into this moment, giving us the energy of life. And then if you like, you might want to finish with a nice affirmation here with your hands at the center of your heart, reminding yourself, I am peace. Bringing your arms around you, giving yourself a hug, reminding yourself, I am love. Reach your arms up and remind yourself, I am life. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.